KFWB News 980 has been giving you the world in 22 minutes for 40 years now.
Now the landmark local station is celebrating those 4 decades on the air as LA's first all-news station. And this morning, CBS 2's Jaime Garza reports.
KFWB News Time, 12:40.
You're listening to LA's first all-news radio station.
I'm Jack Popejoy with Judy Ford.
For 40 years now, KFWB has been keeping Los Angeles in tune with the world, and they claim to do it in 22 minutes.
Somebody did a study many years ago that found that the average commute time in Los Angeles was 22 minutes. So you give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world by the time you get to work. Obviously, that was back in the early Pleistocene era.
All joking aside, anchor Jack Popejoy says in an age when television seems to dominate the airwaves, radio still delivers.
Roger, let's get a 10 count.
Pete Demetrio uses the Northridge earthquake to prove that point. He says he encountered feedback while trying to broadcast his report that day, but quickly realized it was caused by people sitting in their cars listening to KFWB.
And you got to remember, at that point, 97% of the power grid for Los Angeles was gone. Television didn't exist. Nothing existed except people's fear and uncertainty. And lo and behold, they went out and they turned on their radios. And the sense really which showed you the power of all-news radio.
Demetrio uses these portable high-tech devices to deliver his up-to-the-minute reports. It's a far cry from the equipment used in the early days. Yes, the man in that picture is holding a gigantic microphone.
I sometimes wonder now how we ever got anything on the air.
Editor Sue Stiles is not talking about 1925, when the Warner Brothers first started the station and launched the careers of Ronald Reagan and Bing Crosby. She's talking about just 30 years ago, when wire machines, not the World Wide Web, made accessing the news possible.
These are your carts. This is where your sound comes from.
Anchor Judy Ford says even though tape has now been pushed aside by digital technology, there is still one thing that can never be replaced.
Regardless of all of the gadgets and bells and whistles that we have now, it still comes down to that person in the field or on the air relating information that you don't know to you.
Reliable, dependable people who were first to report the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and who were first to reveal the planes that crashed on 9/11 were bound for Los Angeles.
It's emotionally wrenching. I must tell you, I almost threw up in the wastebasket that day when I realized what we were doing on the radio and how important it was to so many people.
KFWB News 98.
In the Mid-Wilshire District, Jaime Garza, CBS 2 News.
And we were just talking about this a moment ago. They switched from News 98 to News 980 to make it easier to find on the AM dial. Between Jack and Judy, the morning anchors, 47 years of morning anchoring experience.
Wow, we know their voices. Now we know their faces too. Pretty fascinating.
Good stuff, good stuff.